Hello, all the crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games, and welcome back to making 3D wizard-like games in Game Maker. Zelda-like games featuring wizards, I should say. Let's see. So last time I got some basic collectible features in the game. So we've got like that collectible object which I can run into and collect it and whatnot. And today I'm going to be doing some more of that. I think let's collectible cards, I said, is what I was going to do. Hopefully this won't be too painful. I think I said that the last time, and then it ended up having a few weird hurdles involved. But hopefully this won't be too painful. Firstly, I think I'm going to go and create a database of sorts of actual collectible cards. So if I were to go, let's just create myself a new script. I'll organize it later. We can say this group collectible cards can be something like this. I might create a constructor that's something like collectible card data, and these can all have names. These can all have, I guess I'll give them an ID also, and also a sprite to go with them, like a sprite texture to go with them. I'm blanking on the last thing I want. Description. And this is just going to, let's assign all these parameters. To instance variables. And that's going, oh, you don't like that, do I? Yeah. I wish that was allowed in structs. Alright, whatever. And in Wizarducks, I made sort of like a weirdly elaborate like singleton access pattern design for like collectible card data. And that's it's probably a little bit of a more robust way of doing what I'm about to do here, but if I just say macro card DB, macro that onto a global variable, and then I can say card DB equals just an array of new collectible card data. So now there remains the matter of like what exactly these are going to be. In Wizarducks, the collectibles in the game are just like pieces of bird art, because we like birds around here. I could do that again, or I could like not shamelessly rip off myself, I guess, and make it something different. I might make it like, I don't know, collectible cards with different like flowers or something on them, because I also like flowers. Cacti, other like plants, because I like cacti and other plants. Guess I'll do flowers for now because that's easy. So name, ID, I'll give it like, this will be the nicely formatted English name, and then an ID, this could be a number, or this could just be like a string, which will never change. Sprite, I don't have a sprite now, so I'll just assign it a random one for now. Description. I'll fill that in later when I'm feeling a little smarter. Also, instead of making this an array... Oh, do I need to mark this as a constructor? I need to mark that as a constructor. We can also have, if we want, maybe like three of these to start off with. Let's see, what's another like extremely common flag? I'm just trying to think of like what's outside right now. Well, nothing's outside right now because it's December and they're all dead, but... or dormant. Some of them are dormant. You know what? I guess that... I think maybe I'll make the ID and the name inside the card database struct exactly the same. Give me a third flower. Had some fun growing those this year. I think mine are finally dead. They almost made it to December before the cold finally killed them. You wouldn't think a grass dragon type would be would be able to survive the frost that easily, but apparently mine did. So this is our card database. I think it would also be nice to have in. Do I have like a game state? Yeah, game state. So just like we have our list of like known spells, I think it would also be nice to have a list of cards, or maybe a struct of cards. These are unordered. Structs are, of course, unordered. I think when I display them to the player in like the inventory screen or whatever, I'll have them just alphabetized. Or I could also make the IDs like an actual number, like the order in which they're defined, like a Pokedex number. I'll do this for now. We can also add a nice little add card interface. So add card, remove card, and I think has card. And when you add a card, we can say self.cards, key it by the card's ID, and then we'll just make that true. If when you remove a card, I don't remember if Game Maker will crash if you try to remove an ID that doesn't exist like this, or if it'll just roll with it. But we can check if it exists before continuing anyway. And then has card will just be literally that. Alright. It's a little different from the way that my list of known spells works. Honestly, spells could probably get away with working like this too, but it is what it is. Let's see. Where's my Wizards repository? Do I want to do an update game maker commit again? So I think that will count as a collectible card system. A collectible base item. I'm still kind of mostly finished with that, but I guess that's kind of still in progress, isn't it? Gameplay stuff, 3D objects. Let me make a group here for pickups. Can stick that in there. 3D object pickup card. And these will have some properties. I don't think... Actually, I might need to get back to that. Let's see. So we don't need to like duplicate the roll in all directions thing. Spell response. That should be like no spell response, shouldn't it be? Alright, so I can set no one to the asset type there, because these things don't respond to spells. I'm also going to want the card ID, which can be a string. Okay, so it doesn't need to be quoted if it's a string. Oh, I will want. So right before I started to record this, I added just a quad to the game files, and that's just going to be a rectangle upon which we draw the card texture. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to want collision there, aren't I? And also I'm going to want it to be on the y-axis because I forgot about that apparently. So let me just save that. Let me export all of those. Alright, it's a lot of geometry there. Not nearly as much as there will be by the end of the game, but let's see, I'm going to want to inherit this event, and Please tell me I haven't forgotten already. It's funny, because like in every single other game, I've just had like a meshes, like, singleton thing. But apparently in this one I didn't. So I'm gonna need to remember that. Alright. So that's a card pickup. It should just like draw a plain quad without any texture on it. Yeah. Let's see, apparently I did a bunch of things like this. Alright. This is going to be something that I'll eventually need to add to like my Unity map editor. But I'll get to that later. That's going to be one of those on my own time things. So we are drawing a card. We ran into the card and it gave us money, because that's what happens. I don't know, it's like a magic credit card or something like that. But either way, we have ourselves a collectible card object. And I think I can check off... not quite. Alright, I won't do that yet. First, what happens when you, like, what happens when the player actually runs into this? Oh, it's on collection. That's a weird place to put this. But go on past self. Let's see. I'm also going to want to override the on collection method in that case in the, in this thing. Where does that code run then? Handle collectibles? Oh, that's right, because it checks for the pickup collision mask and not like the way that GameMaker's built-in collision system would. Alright, I knew that. So instead of adding currency, we can say GameState.add card. We can add our card ID, carddb.daisy. Oh no, that's the string. That's the name. Like this. And then our like diagnostic printout can be like, you have GameState or rather card ID. Like this, right? And that will just print out, hopefully, a 1 whenever we pick up a card containing a thing, right? Alright, so we have Daisy. If we wanted to spawn another one, we could spawn this some distance off. Could set our instance parameter there, update collision positions. The last one. And now this should spawn 3 cards, which will line up in a row, and we will be able to collect them. All right, that's 1, 2, 3. All right, very nice. The collection system works. As for behavior, so in say it with me, in the Potter games, when you find a wizard card, when you find the Magic the Gathering cards or whatever, baseball cards, bubblegum cards, whatever, they will be rotating on the spot. In Wizarducks, I did something similar. I have the cards rotate on the spot. Wizarducks cards have a front and a back, mostly because Munin really wanted to like draw a Yu-Gi-Oh back to the cards. I'm less interested in drawing it back to the cards. I'm probably just going to have it be double-sided, but I think I will have them rotate on the spot. So, what is this? This is for drawing the thing. Oh, I can probably just, like, mess with the rotation matrix, can't I? That's fun. Alright. I'll do that by messing with the rotation matrix first. That sounds very tautological. Let's see. So I think I'll put this in like just the begin step event and say that we can set the rotation matrix. Where's begin step? This is begin step, so we can just override that. This can be matrix build. We'll start with no translation. I'm going to want rotation about the y-axis. It's going to be 0 on the x. Rotation about the y-axis can be current time divided by 1,000, so that's going to be degrees. 1 degree per second. If we want maybe, say 120 degrees per second, we can multiply by 120, 0 on the z, scale 1. Alright, and that should be good for matrix build. It should set our rotation matrix. And we now have cards rotating on that axis. Very good. So, if we wanted to have a little more animation, let me move out the current time in seconds to a local variable here. I could give it like a slight sine wave. Like the offset in the air could be something like, I don't know, 4 times sine of current time, and that'll be the offset on the y-axis, and that might be a little much. Bounce period of 6.28 seconds. Let's decrease the amplitude and decrease the period. Wait, no, stop. Hang on, I want that to be in there. We've gotten a little bit beyond just a rotation matrix here, haven't we? This is also now a translation matrix. Maybe a slightly faster, maybe even, and I'm splitting hairs now, but decrease the amplitude again and increase the period again. Decrease the period again. Alright, I think that's fine. So, let's commit cards bouncing a little. And I'm also going to actually want to draw them with their texture, right? Is there an easy way to do that? Alright, well, I've got a really dumb way to do this. Am I going to regret this? Who knows? Let's inherit the draw event, and then right before we do that, we can force the texture of the penguin mesh to be a certain sprite right before drawing it, and all right, let's see how that goes over. Well, it worked. We've got noise. I'm gonna check these off as finished, but I will also put in. Should I make this like the general game content? Milestone. No. Edit. There we go. I will need to acquire a series of images, probably, which means drawing myself a series of images for the collectible cards. Not sure how many, probably like 10 or so. I don't think I'm going to be making like a 30-hour adventure that's going to have like 100 different cards in it just on my own. Let's see, this can be, give that a medium priority thing. It's not the end of the world if the system gets scrapped, but I would obviously like it. Effort, this will be on my own. I'll make that 8, even though this is going to be most likely an on my own thing. And I guess I probably will add an on my own tag. Like that. I'll select that. Other things that are going to be like that are going to be obviously like drawing all the other things in the game, drawing all the like the props and NPCs and what have you. Alright, I kind of feel like that should be like an unranked thing, to be honest, in terms of like effort. The on my own things, because I don't want them cluttering up the like the burn down chart, because I want the burn down chart to be about what we get done on video. And then of course there's all this. This is probably going to be like live streamed. I'm almost certainly going to try and live stream as much of this as I can. So I'm okay with having the effort points there, because that'll happen on video of sorts. Anyway, so as you can probably tell, my voice is not the strongest today, and I kind of don't want to talk for any longer than I have to. I think next time, let's add a basic quest system. It's not going to be any really hardcore, fancy like Elder Scrolls quest system, but I do want to have a way of keeping track of things that the player has to do. It will probably be less of a like checklist and like a list of criteria, and more of a like yes, no, you have started this quest, and you can show it in the menu or something like that. But might use it to keep track of like the game state of various things. Anyway, can we look at the burn down chart? Yeah, I'm gonna end this off here. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. If you want the code for this, look for the GitHub down in the description of this video. Apparently, I've fallen a little bit behind the pace. Probably because I've recorded a bunch of videos a couple of weeks ago and then nothing since then. Yeah, let's see. Let's make sure that I remember that. This will be the 0.35 release, so that's going to be what we got done today. Alright. I try to post about 2 game dev videos a week. One, let's make a game like this, and one tutorial. I like to focus on the weird 3D-ish, shader-ish things that you can do in GameMaker, so if any of that appeals to you, feel free to subscribe. I have a Patreon, so if you want to contribute to the channel, links to that can be found in all the usual places. Otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed that. I am going to go and make myself some tea now, and I will see you all later. Special thanks to DJ Gibbles, Edward Holt, GameMaker, Manta Ray, Syndra Larson, Squarecrow, Vitro V, and Zenjamin for supporting these videos. If you want to contribute to the channel, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.